After watching that Fantastic Four first mid-credit scene where we see what looks like Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom holding baby Franklin Richards, it's pretty clear that Doom is being introduced through the Fantastic Four universe. And the way he holds that iconic metal mask while kneeling, that's not just fan service, it screams that Doom is after something big, likely tapping into Franklin's reality-warping powers. And that could lead us right into the bigger multiversal chaos we're expecting in Avengers Doomsday. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There are strong rumors that Marvel might throw another massive wild card into the mix, Madelyne Jennifer Pryor, also known as the Goblin Queen, or as some fans now call her, the Demon Queen mutant who could tear the multiverse apart. If you've been watching X-Men 97, you already know that Madelyne Pryor just had a huge moment. That show gave her a bit of a rework, but it kept the core emotional punch of her comic book origin. In fact, it even took things a step further by showing a more human side of her. Still, her presence there might be setting the stage for something bigger in live action. Let's rewind a little. In the comics, Madelyne is a clone of Jean Grey, created by Mister Sinister with one goal in mind, to produce a genetically perfect child with Cyclops. That child, of course, is Nathan Summers, aka Cable, who's crucial in the battle against Apocalypse. The clone starts out living a pretty peaceful life with Scott until Jean comes back from the dead. That throws everything into chaos. Cyclops leaves Madelyne and Nathan, and this betrayal, combined with the truth of her artificial origin, drives her into darkness. Eventually, she transforms into the villainous Goblin Queen, unleashing hell, literally, on Earth. But X-Men 97 tweaks the story. Instead of descending to full villainy, Madelyne briefly loses control before reclaiming her identity, separate from Jean, and walks away to forge her own path. It's a redemption arc that, while different from the comics, adds emotional depth and a sense of unfinished business, and that's what makes her such a compelling candidate for the MCU. With Secret Wars and Doomsday heading toward multiverse-level stakes, you can see how Madelyne could fit right in. She's not just a clone or a jilted lover, she's someone who's been manipulated, weaponized, and discarded. All of that rage and magic wrapped up in someone with Jean Grey-level potential makes her terrifying. Imagine Doom trying to exploit that power, or even worse, forming an uneasy alliance with her to reshape reality. We already saw her once as a pawn of Mister Sinister. What happens if she takes control of her own destiny and decides the multiverse is hers to command? And the fact that X-Men 97 is reintroducing these deep-cut characters to audiences just makes it all the more likely. Marvel doesn't bring someone like Madelyne into the animated spotlight just to shelve her again. Her story is too rich, too tragic, and too full of explosive potential to leave out of the cinematic multiverse. Plus, with Cable already featured in Deadpool and Wolverine, the groundwork is there. You can bet fans, and probably writers too, are already thinking about connecting those dots. So yeah, Dr. Doom might be coming for multiversal domination with Franklin Richards' power in his sights. But if Madelyne Pryor shows up too, we could be looking at a real multiverse war, not just between heroes and villains, but between those who were created, used, and tossed aside, now demanding their due. Whether she returns as the Goblin Queen, the tragic anti-hero, or something in between, Madelyne Pryor might just be one of the most dangerous and fascinating characters Marvel could bring into the MCU's next phase. Madelyne Pryor first appeared in Uncanny X-Men number 168 in 1983, created by Chris Claremont and Paul Smith. Initially, she was a mysterious woman who looked identical to Jean Grey and eventually became Cyclops' wife and the mother of Cable. However, editorial changes at Marvel, including the resurrection of Jean Grey to reunite the original X-Men for X-Factor, led to Scott Summers abruptly abandoning Madelyne and their child. This betrayal served as a key turning point in her character arc, pushing her toward villainy under the influence of Mister Sinister and demonic forces. She later became the Goblin Queen during the Inferno crossover, where her combination of mutant powers and dark magic made her a formidable threat. Madelyne's tragic journey from a hopeful new life partner for Scott to a manipulated villain has deep emotional resonance and aligns perfectly with the tone of Marvel's more recent, complex, morally gray character arcs. Her story also touches on major themes the MCU is already embracing: identity, legacy, and the burden of power. With X-Men 97 reintroducing her in animated form, voiced by Jennifer Hale, Marvel has already started familiarizing new audiences with her character, subtly laying the groundwork for her live-action debut. Now, when considering Avengers: Secret Wars, it's important to remember that this film is expected to serve as the culmination of Marvel's multiverse saga. Secret Wars has historically been about alternate realities clashing together, with characters from multiple universes converging into one storyline. This opens the door for characters like Madelyne Pryor to enter from a reality where Jean Grey died, and Madelyne survived or thrived. In fact, a multiversal variant of Madelyne could even be a ruler of her own domain, perhaps a twisted alternate Earth corrupted by demonic influence where she reigns as the Goblin Queen. In Avengers: Doomsday, assuming it's focused on Doctor Doom's rise and multiversal manipulation, Madelyne could also have a place. Given her history of being exploited by powerful men like Mister Sinister and demonic entities, Madelyne could be positioned as either a tragic ally or an unpredictable antagonist. If Doom seeks to harness the power of characters with both mutant and supernatural abilities to reshape reality, Madelyne would be a perfect candidate. Her combination of telekinesis, telepathy, and sorcery makes her incredibly powerful, and her motivations are often emotionally complex, making her a more compelling villain than those driven purely by destruction. Her ties to Cable also present another opportunity. Since Cable is the son of Madelyne Pryor and Cyclops, his introduction into the MCU, especially if the Deadpool timeline is fully merged in, could lead to retroactive explorations of his origin. This would naturally require addressing Madelyne's role as his mother, either in flashbacks, multiversal variants, or even as a returning figure from the past. With Deadpool and Wolverine already cracking open the multiverse, and with future X-Men projects reportedly in development, the timeline is aligning for Madelyne to play a larger part. In the comics, her character has experienced a significant revival in recent years. From her resurrection in Hellions to her leadership role in New Mutants and the 2022-23 Dark Web crossover, Marvel has clearly shown renewed interest in Madelyne Pryor. And here's where it gets really spicy. Famke Janssen is reportedly coming back as Phoenix, and there's a rumor that Wolverine kills someone important. Oh, and Psylocke's returning too. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.